March 1st, Tuesday.
Good morning. There's still quite a bit of snow left over from yesterday. I slipped twice on my way coming here. Wow, it's dark. Jeez, you don't look so good.
The harsh, dazzling sunlight hurts my eyes as I detect the shrill sound of a curtain being drawn. Despite the fact that the sky is covered with thick clouds to the point where the sun can't be seen, the brightness piercing through the window is comparable to that of a cloudless, clear sky. Oh, that's because the snow from last night piled up.
Senpai, your eyes seem red somehow, you know?
Koharu, who already treated my place as hers, was casually cleaning up while looking at my face. Oh, I didn't sleep well last night.
What happened? You don't look as if you've shaved either. This is quite unbecoming of you, you know that, senpai?
No, I'm fine.
Don't farce yourself, okay? If you collapse right now, I'll end up the same, you know?
Koharu kneels right in front of me and brings her face close to mine with upturned eyes, as if she seems more concerned about my condition than cleaning up. My heart throbs as her pleasant scent tickles my nose. In the same vein, I'm sure the scent I'm letting out has reached Koharu as well.
You don't seem to have a fever. How are you feeling?
But she doesn't seem to care about it, and puts her white hand on my forehead, coming even closer. I said I'm fine, didn't I? More importantly, why aren't you? As I struggle to compose myself, I brush away her hand and glare at Koharu ever so slightly. Why aren't you attending the graduation ceremony?
Huh?
Koharu stopped her lively movements for just a moment. It's March 1st. It's Hosho High School's graduation ceremony. It's a memorable day that occurs only once across one's school life, much like the entrance ceremony.
I don't have time for that.
Shouldn't this be the culmination of your 3 years in school? It's only today. Just a single day.
It's one day out of the less than 2 weeks we have until the entrance exam, right? It's a big deal.
But I do indeed know someone who skipped out on their graduation ceremony. But I simply can't compare Koharu to her. After all, I'd be comparing her to someone who skipped nearly half of her classes like a delinquent back then.
Regardless if I go or not, I'll still be able to graduate. It won't make a difference.
Koharu, today was supposed to be the grandest and final big moment for the serious and excellent Koharu, who did not rest even a little up until the very end. And yet...
Alright, let's leave that aside and start studying. I don't have much time left after all.
Okay, it's about time. Let's go to the gymnasium.
So, neither of them are coming. If at least Yada-san showed up, then Koharu's actions would have... Don't say her name. She doesn't have anything to do with us anymore, right, Sayuri? She has nothing to do with us anymore.
Come on, you two are the last ones. Get going already.
I get it, okay? Come on, Akko.
Sugiura.
Okay, I'm fine now. Koharu, show me everything you've done. Koharu ended up pushing me into the bathroom in the morning, not only because I didn't sleep, but also because she was worried about the scent of alcohol. I washed myself, shaved, soaked in the bathtub, and let myself feel forlorn for just a moment, all in a desperate attempt to return to my usual self. Koharu? I've gotten livelier after getting out of the bath, and I see Koharu staring blankly at the scenery outside, at the streets painted a pure white by the unmelted snow. Koharu! She finally notices me, but it wasn't because of my voice, but rather my reflection on the window.
I'm sorry. I've yet to solve even a single question.
My bath was longer than usual, but there aren't any traces of ink on Koharu's notebook. The first question seems to be extremely basic. A question of such low difficulty that she usually would be able to solve it in under 3 minutes. It won't make a difference, she said.
I'll do it right now. Give me 10 minutes, please.
It's fine.
Uh,
Take a break.
I'm sorry. I'll give it my all now. So, please don't speak like you've already abandoned me.
Then let me rephrase it. Please accept your graduation certificate. Shimizu Sayori. Here, I hereby bestow the graduation certificate to Shimizu Sayori from Class 3A with the same honors. Sugiura Koharu. Sonoda Ako. Here. I hereby bestow the graduation certificate to Sugiura Koharu from Class 3A with the same honors. Oh, with the same honors is correct in your case, right, Koharu? Your register number isn't first on the list, after all. See, it's written properly here. The aforementioned student is hereby certified to have completed all school courses. Why are you looking at me like you think I'm ridiculous and that you're fed up with this?
Because I do think you're ridiculous and I am fed up with it.
I suppose a real graduate wouldn't accept a fake graduation certificate written in pencil on a sheet of paper that was torn from a notebook. I just thought I could attempt to simulate the atmosphere.
It's not like I won't get the certificate, you know. It will be delivered to my home.
So, it's completely useless.
Don't throw it away.
But Koharu, who had criticized me for what I just did, forcibly snatches away the note I was about to crumple up into a ball and toss into the trash can.
It's a waste of paper, so I'll take it back, senpai. Do you have a tube?
Just fold it. It's a thin piece of paper anyway.
I can't. I'll hang this on my wall as a decoration and laugh at it every time I wake up in the morning.
Oh, you.
What a waste of a notebook sheet. Really, you can be so childish sometimes, senpai. I'll treasure this forever.
With the way she's treating that piece of paper, to be a waste of paper is probably the last thing on her mind. Yada Mihoko. That will be all the students from Class 3A. Class 3B, 45 students. Asari Kenichi.
Here.
I see. So you were nominated to give the graduation speech.
I refused, though. It was rigged from the very beginning anyway. Sua-sensei forcibly decided that I would be the one to do it.
Sua, huh? I wonder if he was the one who pushed me to be selected for the role back in my day. Wow, so you too stood out in Sua-sensei's eyes, Haruki-senpai?
It seems we have a lot in common, even in terms of our unpleasant experiences.
Isn't that why Takia calls you Mini Haruki?
I still don't agree with that. It's not like I'm imitating you, senpai. I was just born 3 years later.
In the end, our break becomes surprisingly lively with other topics of conversation. As Koharu listened to my memories of high school, I asked of her own memories for the past 3 years in return. Though neither of us touched on what happened half a year before graduation. So, what are you planning to say in your speech?
Like I said, I've turned it down.
Knowing you, Koharu, you've desperately prepared the speech already, right? So you wouldn't embarrass yourself if you got chosen without warning?
Senpai, are you suggesting you placed a listening device inside my room?
Be it studies or school events, I know exactly what you're thinking. You're actually a little proud that you got chosen, right?
If I'd never met you, senpai, I would be standing proudly on the stage with my head held high right now.
Oh.
I'm joking. Don't feel sad, senpai.
We have so many things in common, and we sometimes end up pointing at each other and laughing, while sometimes we bury our heads in our arms. As if we were alumni who spent 3 years together in the same school. We got stupidly excited about this over sweets and tea. Then, how about you reveal the speech you thought of right here and now?
No way. It's embarrassing.
So you wrote something embarrassing. You're making me want to hear it even more.
You have a terrible personality, senpai.
My friends say that you and I have the same personality.
Jeez. Still, there's no meaning to it. It's not fit for its purpose at all.
Seriously, what did you write?
Nothing great. It's just... Before I realized it, it became a message for a certain someone.
And I didn't know whether I would be delivering a message or sending one?
That's why I put it in an envelope and dropped it off this morning. At the Yada household, that is.
Koharu.
Just like what you said, senpai. I can speak with Mahoko anytime.
Yep. Even if we go to a different university, things will never come to an end between us. So long as I don't give up, that is. Then don't give up, okay?
Yes, I never will.
Next, we would like to invite the representatives of the graduating students, Hata Tomaki, from Class 3F to give his speech. Yes. As the representative for all graduating students, I am truly honored and grateful to be the one to speak during this great graduation ceremony today. Looking back on our school lives, I can still vividly remember the time we spent since the entrance ceremony and how it's passed so quickly. To the point where we're finally able to welcome this very day.
Looking back 3 years ago, it was a bright spring day back then, with the cherry blossoms in full bloom and a warm breeze passing by. you were absent from the entrance ceremony, right?
After drawing lots, our seating arrangement was decided, and the seat beside me ended up being empty for a week.
So I always thought about who it might be, being bored when the lessons were only filled with self-introductions, never approaching the actual subject matter. A week later, we met for the first time. That was 3 years ago. I still remember all the memories I have with you. Spending a night studying together at your house before the exams. In that 3-story house, having extravagant meals and even an extra large bath. I was so taken aback by the culture shock, I couldn't sleep at all. There was the 3-legged race we participated in at the sports festival. During the race, we fumbled our pace and got hurt as a result, so we ended up chatting in the infirmary up until the closing ceremony. From field trips to school festivals and even normal day-to-day occurrences, I can immediately recall all of those scenes in my mind. In our second year, when we placed in different classes, we cried as if the world was ending. And in our third year, when we were placed in the same class again, we cried as if we were long-lost sisters. Something we can't forget is that since we're both stubborn, we argued a lot. Every time we argued, we immediately made up, as if the argument never existed. The only time we couldn't make up was our last big argument. All I need to do is close my eyes and think about it to feel nostalgic, delighted, pained, and hurt about it all. But it must be you who suffered the most, right? It must have been so painful that you've come to hate me. But, you know, I, whom you hate so much, still love you very much even now. You might think that I'm not in a position to say any of this, given that I said something really horrible to you and hurt you very deeply. But this is the one thing I won't back down on. I've been running away and ignoring everything for the past few days, but I just can't stand the thought of me being part of your worst memories from now and having you hating me forever, Mohoko. And I can't bear the thought of you overcoming it and forgetting about me either. That's why I'll disappear from your life for the time being until your life returns to normal and you go to university enjoying every day of your life, relieved from the bad memories you hold now, until someday when you think you can forgive me even a little. Until that day comes, I will work hard somewhere else. And then, when our paths cross again, we'll have a big fight again and make up with each other. Certainly, someday, I believe that joyful day will come. So, in the meantime, I will work hard while you're not with me, Mohoko, because our lives still go on. I will never give up, and I promise to treasure all of my trusted relationships all the more. Goodbye, Mohoko. Congratulations on graduating. But you know, Senpai, I actually wanted to cry with everyone. I wanted to hold Mohoko as I cry while singing Aogaba Totoshi. After that, we would go to a karaoke place and sing our hearts out so much that we would forget why we all cried so much just before that.
She's doing her best to remain strong, even when she's unleashing her emotions about her friends from the bottom of her heart.
I wanted to go on the graduation trip too. With Mahoko, Sayuri, and Ako. I wanted to tour around Spain, Italy, and France.
And the moment her speech ended, tears began to overflow ceaselessly, even as her expression remained unchanged.
And then Toma Kazusa's concert would be ongoing coincidentally. We wouldn't have minded our manners and made a big fuss, and in doing so, we'd end up being a nuisance to everyone.
That's why I hugged her from behind without any restraint.
The university entrance exams would be waiting for us immediately after we return. We'd say something like, "Oh, this is no different from our time in high school, huh?" And stick together as always.
My arms wrap around her tightly, as if to assert the fact that she belongs to me.
And then, I'd walk around the hallways and run into the familiar-looking fourth-year upperclassman who's so stubborn.
I bury my face into her silky hair and wipe her tears with my thumb.
And we would walk around the campus together as we exchanged teasing remarks with one another.
Koharu. I vow to protect her from anything that would make her suffer. It doesn't matter if that's my responsibility or not, because from now on
You can't do this out of sympathy, you know? Do you want to be misunderstood by a girl again, senpai?
Congratulations on graduating.
That's not an answer.
She always pushes herself past her limits and tries to get a hold of herself. But the truth is, she's always doubtful and hesitant. The only conclusion that one can draw from her is that she's a girl who only appears to be strong.
Yo, Sonoda, Shimizu, congratulations on graduating.
Okay, so-kun? What? Are you being sarcastic? Hang on, Sayuri. Why are you being so confrontational all of a sudden?
I see you know me well.
Not you too, Ogiso-kun.
In the end, neither Yana nor Sugiura attended. This is all the result of what you two did, you know?
Yeah.
Don't forget this. Don't think back fondly on this, you hear me? And don't you shove the blame on everyone else, okay?
We get it, so shut it already. You're going to fail the entrance exams and be our underclassman.
The result will be announced next week. Don't make assumptions like that.
Isn't it obvious? Since you got dumped the day before the exam. Wait, you didn't have to say that of all things out loud, Sayuri. That's the one topic that's most sensitive to Ogiso-kun, isn't it?
You? Even after all the horrible things you said? How dare you?
There's no way it'll become a memory. It's not over after all. You're right. It's not over yet.
Huh?
There's still a month before university starts, right? Then it's not over. We're just getting started.
What do you mean?
Don't you get it? We're going to keep trying to persuade Mahoko without giving up from here on out.
Huh?
It's not like we can do anything about it. It's all our fault that a certain irritating busybody ended up not coming after all. That's why we must do it ourselves. That's what the two of us have decided.
You too.
The graduation trip won't be happening anyway, so we're free during spring break. It'll be hard for the four of us to get back together for a while, but if Koharu wants the three of us to be together, We will do our best to make up with Mahoko and gradually isolate Koharu from us. Geez, Sayori, why do you always have to be so bitter? What? Do you have something to say?
No, that's not it. Not at all.
Ogiso-kun.
I see. I see. That's good. Yeah, that's great. Let me in too.
I think you should go to prep school so that you perform better during the second wave of admissions. That's right. How about you join Seisen's literature department? Isn't the girl you like going there as well?
What did you say?
Your work never pays off, class rep. You are quite popular with the underclassmen, though.
Oh, what? What are you saying? I'm popular with my classmates too. Look, someone took my second button.
Oh, we still have that custom, huh? This school is surprisingly old-fashioned.
Besides, it's not only one person who wanted it, you know? The spares I prepared almost ran out. See? This is the last one.
Can't you give it to me?
Huh?
March 14th, Monday. And then... we're finally at the middle of March, where the signs of winter have all but faded away as the sunlight gradually shines stronger and the air gradually warms up.
It's finally time, huh?
Time sure flies, doesn't it?
Well, we knew this day would come.
Today is the day of the examination for the second wave of admissions to Seisen University. It's been 3 weeks since Koharu decided to take the exam, and after spending an impossibly short amount of time preparing for it, we now find ourselves standing right in front of the Seisen University's main gate. Compared to the first admission term, I bet there's barely even a tenth of the number of examinees, heading in the same direction we are, and with the same attitude as us. But with the number of accepted applicants being only a tenth of that, it wouldn't be weird at all to say that the path to entry is super duper tight. Though I wish I could have worded that better. Well, in any case, just do your best. The only thing I can do is just pray for you, though.
What are you talking about? The fact that I can stand here today full of confidence is all thanks to you, senpai.
Good to know, then. I'm confident that I've done everything I could, but in the end, I can only speak to what we managed within the limited time we had. If someone were to ask me if I'd be able to achieve a result that would overcome these conditions, I'd argue that it was a ridiculous endeavor to begin with. Do you have your exam admission card? Did you properly pack all of your stationery? I suppose you should also turn off your phone now.
There's no point in saying all of that when it comes to me, senpai.
You're right. In any case, there's really nothing for me to worry about, since she's just not someone who would make such careless mistakes, much like myself. However, the fact that there's nothing to worry about is the very thing fanning my uneasiness, as I find myself stuck in a loop of contradictory thoughts.
Alright then, I should be heading in soon.
Yep, leaving my worries aside. With light but powerful steps, Koharu marched through the main gates of Seisen University. Good luck! She really does seem more confident and relaxed compared to my own trembling voice calling out to her.
Senpai?
As soon as Koharu reached the gate, she turned around to face me once again in a precise clockwise fashion.
Thank you for everything you've done for me up until now.
Her voice rings across the vicinity as she bows her head deeply to me.
I absolutely won't forget it. I won't forget everything you've given me, senpai.
Haru,
I won't forget any of it.
how do I put this? That show of gratitude sounded far too exaggerated and far too powerful for someone who's simply going to take an exam. You're exaggerating. Remember that there's still a lot we have to do our best in. This isn't the time to feel relieved.
Of course.
That's why I can't obediently accept such humble words. I can only concentrate on what I'm facing right now. I'll pick you up later. Call me when the exam is over.
I will.
See ya. For some reason, the sight of Koharu looking at me with such seriousness in her eyes caused me discomfort. So I quickly turned around and hurried off. All the while, I attempted to drive out the thought of why, despite her relaxedness, she still carried an air of tragic resolve about her.
Senpai, goodbye. Mom, it's me. Yeah, I just finished the result. Yeah, I said I did what I could. I have no regrets. I really am sorry for everything. I've asked for so many unreasonable things. I'll pay you back for the exam fees. Don't worry. I have money left over from work. I can't do that. I need to set things right. Even if I fail, I don't have any intentions to rely on my family. Let's drop this topic for now. Let's discuss it in detail after I get home. Yeah, I'm coming home right now. There's nowhere I need to be anyway. Really? I can ask for anything? Then, That's a relief. So, you do know who I am. Well, I have seen you once before, after all. You mean on the video of my performance during the school festival? Now, that is embarrassing. What a shame that such an awful performance still remains to this day. You don't have to feel all that nervous. Well, I guess it's natural to be on alert when a stranger approaches you. No, you're not a stranger. I know about you, Ogiso-senpai. I actually know a lot about you. But this is the first time we've properly met, right? Nice to meet you. I'm Ogiso Takehiro's older sister, Setsuna. Thank you for looking after my younger brother all this time. I'm Sugiura Koharu. So... I'm really sorry for acting so brazenly. Not at all. But how do you know about me? Takehiro said you were having your entrance exams today. So, I thought I'd finally have a chance to talk to you. I don't really understand what you mean. I'm sorry. Perhaps it'll be better if we just did this at a later date? Still, I just couldn't wait. That's not what I meant. Ogiso-senpai, how much do you know about me? Just how much do you know about what I've done? Takehiro consulted me about you. He told me about a girl in his class who seemed to be incredibly sad. I just couldn't think of you as a stranger after that. And so I wanted to talk to you at least once, no matter what. What do you mean by that?
Can I tell you about something that happened in my past?
It's a very old story from a time when I was still in middle school and hadn't enrolled in high school yet. Middle school?
I received a confession during my 3rd year of middle school.
Well, that's not unheard of. It happened to you, Sugiura-san? I have nothing to say about that. In the end, we failed to make up, even when graduation arrived. I chose Hojo High through the process of elimination, because it was the only place everyone else was not going to. So, I entered Hojo and I changed the way I've been interacting with people up until then. After that, I didn't get too close with my friends and always maintained a small distance. If I got closer with them, I might have ended up getting completely ostracized because of some little thing. That's why I thought it'd be best to avoid getting close to them from the very beginning. You don't have to look so frustrated about it.
But wasn't it all a misunderstanding? Doesn't that make it nothing but a petty resentment directed towards you? It's the same for you though, isn't it, Sugiura-san? For people who you call friends as if they were only yesterday to gossip about you.
My circumstances are different. It's not a misunderstanding. I really am a traitor, so I'm only receiving my proper punishment. My friends only did what was right. My situation is different from yours, Ogaso-senpai. Is that so? It wasn't your fault, Ogaso-senpai. That's why I'm frustrated. The way I am now, I can understand the pain you felt back then. You really are the person I was told you were. Is that so? Although, it's the first time we've met, and although I'm only telling you about an old story of mine, you're treating it as if it's your own matter. Rather, you left your own matters aside and really tried to defend me. But I couldn't achieve anything. In the end, I'm useless, so there wasn't any meaning to it. You never try to justify yourself, and you never go out of your way to blame others. I said that just because it really was my responsibility. It was my fault for not taking action.
You really are just like him.
Alright, then let's move on to something that happened recently.
Okay.
Last week, there was a middle school reunion. Did you go? Yeah, I did. There's still a girl who I'm close with up until now, and she said she'd be attending. I dressed rather plainly and went out early. I got a little lost, but I ended up arriving there safely. I discovered that it was a rather large and stylish Italian restaurant. But when I tried to go in, my legs were suddenly frozen in place. I wandered around the entrance, walked aimlessly around the area, and looked at the people who went in from a distance. You couldn't go in? Yeah, I didn't know what to do alone. In the end, I gave up after about 30 minutes and headed back to the station. Is that so? Then, someone suddenly tapped my shoulder from behind. Was it the only person you were still close with? Unfortunately, it was the leader of the group of friends I used to be with. The girl who had a crush on the boy who confessed to me. No way. She saw me from the windows in the restaurant and chased after me. Was it because she still harbored ill will towards you, Ogaso-senpai? From there on, we enjoyed a lively, nostalgia-filled reunion together. It was almost anticlimactic. The close group of 5 all assembled. Everyone mostly remembered what happened in the past. Then they started to talk to me one after another. So, did they say anything? Did they talk about the falling out they had with you, Ogaso-senpai? They just went something along the lines of, "Oh, something like that happened, huh?" No way. I guess it's aptly put that between the bully and their victim, the bully forgets their actions almost immediately, while the victim has to remember everything. And, of course, that's exactly what happened. Other than the friend I mentioned, everyone had forgotten all about it. Weren't you angry about that? At first, I was like, what the hell? I've been holding on to it for more than 6 years.
I even changed my way of life because of it. So what is wrong with them?
Didn't you express that to them? I couldn't. Why not? Aren't you frustrated about this? I was, but above all, I was having so much fun. I was so happy and so filled with nostalgia, and in the end, I still really cared about everyone. We went to karaoke after that, with only the 5 of us, ignoring all the guys who tried to invite us. I sang 5 songs in a row, and everyone just booed at me without consideration. But in reality, I was the one being inconsiderate, but everyone knew that I loved karaoke. So they clapped for me and cheered me on with maracas, reminiscing about the past without even paying attention to the songs. Look, here's a photo we took there. I exchanged phone numbers with everyone, and we plan to go on a trip next summer. You look like you had fun, Ogaso-senpai. I really had a lot of fun. It feels as if we wiped the slate clean in more ways than one. I can even say that my life's changed again. I see. Is that so? It's been 6 years since then. It's been a really long time. I've tried my best to make up with them within that period, but I wasn't strong enough for that. But I'm glad. I really am.
I was pretty certain that someone like you could truly be glad for me.
I'm sorry. I just acted as if it happened to me. Don't be. I told it to you so that you could think of it as if you were in my shoes. I wanted to give you hope because I know about your pain very well. Ogaso-senpai? What am I saying? Maybe I'm just being pushy about this. I can't guarantee that you'll overcome your predicament smoothly just because I did. Not at all. It gave me a lot of courage. Thanks. I'm glad you said that. Really? You're truly a kind person, just like I've heard. What was that? You're saying you've heard about me? Goodness me, what exactly have you heard, if I may? God, what have I been doing all this time? Thinking about how selfish I've been is just making me feel even more miserable. Sukiura-san? I have to give him back? No, he was never supposed to be mine to begin with, but I have to swear that I just won't do something like that again. Ogaso-senpai, I actually...
Sugiura Koharu-san.
Yeah? Don't give up, okay? Be sure to make up with your friends. This isn't the time to talk about that.
Well, you did push yourself so far. if it's something that you've had to make an enemy of everyone to obtain, it's fine for you to believe that it's something worth fighting for.
Also, please don't blame yourself like that. Really, you're just as Haruki-kun described you to be. You two are strikingly similar, even when it comes to things like this. That's why you seemed like something that I would become fond of. Do your best, Koharu-san. Can I call you that? I'm sorry. I'm really so sorry.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that. So, Koharu had made her move to settle everything with Setsuna and her friends. She is going to separate from them, apply to a different university, and maybe never even see them again. That's sad. I hope it turns out okay for her, and all this is worth it for her.